3, 2, 1.
Like, it's because people don't understand what they're watching. Like, I genuinely think that these people are stupid. Like, do you know what I mean? Because like even this comment saying our Saka isn't quick, he doesn't need help, and that. Arsenal's whole system, yeah. Every time an Arsenal player gets the ball, they have at least 2 or 3 people as an option within 5 yards most of the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So to say that he doesn't need help is complete bullshit. Because
Everyone needs
Saka's
help.
very rarely, yeah, not got 2 or 3 passing options when he gets the ball. Most of the time when he gets the ball, he comes inside, he passes it, and he follows his pass and he's linking and stuff like that. Arsenal players are not isolated. They don't play transition, quick counter-attack football. They build. And because they build, they always have options, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So all this thing where people don't need is bullshit. It's the same with Grealish as well. He's always got an option. When he comes inside, you don't see Grealish isolating a player 1v1 with no options. He's always got an option inside. He's always got an option backwards all the time because City build. Man United don't really build through the middle. They counter quickly. So because of that, our wide men get the ball and they've got 2 players in front of them. They ain't got no one to go back. It's a completely different style of play.
The thing is as well is like even like some goals and assists stats can be mad because when you look at a team like Man City, how often do they have a passing move of 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15 passes that ends in a goal? Each one of those people is integral in it. But are we saying the person that does the last 5-yard pass to Haaland is, oh my God, look at their stats? And this is the thing. When I watch Grealish, I think people have got to remember this. Grealish has gone from being the absolute main man at Aston Villa, where literally every time an Aston Villa player got the ball, they looked up, didn't they, Rants, and went, where's Jack? And they gave it to Grealish, right? Man City, he is one of many options. Yeah. Sure. They don't look up and go, where's Jack? They go, who's nearest to me? Is it Jack? Is it Phil Foden? Is it Gundogan, De Bruyne, Silva, Haaland? But what he does excellently is his link-up play. And I'd take him all day long. I don't care how much he costs.
Yeah, his technical security is up there. He's one of the most technically secure players in the league. And what I mean by that is he very, very rarely loses the ball.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
It's that technical security.
Well.
Oh, he's
unbelievable.
Strong. Unbelievable player. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's why he's one of my favorite because he don't have any weaknesses, Jack Grealish, for me. Do you know what I mean? He's a decent height. He's got a decent enough pace. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can do everything. So it's just one of them things where.
Do you know what quality. I think will happen? I have no way of knowing this, by the way. I'm not in the know. This is what I think will happen. I think next year, what you'll see is I think Gundogan and Silva will leave City. Mm-hmm. I think they'll move Phil Foden into the Bernardo Silva, Gundogan role in the attacking midfield area with De Bruyne. And I think Grealish will secure down that left-hand spot. And that's what I think they'll do moving forward. And I think they'll bring in Alexis McAllister to replace the other one. There you go. If that all happens, click this. If it doesn't...
That's crazy if that happens. That's crazy if that happens. I don't know about McAllister, but yeah, I think there's going to be some movement. Bernardo's been linked with a move away from City for some time. Do you know what I mean? I think it will eventually happen.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, and also Pep can sense that the hunger's not really there anymore, so he's definitely gonna make a few changes in the summer. And this quote here, when you're talking about the fact that Grealish always had an overlapping wide fullbacks at Man City, you don't have overlapping fullbacks. They play inverted fullbacks, so most of the time
they play in the midfield.
Exactly. They play in the midfield, so because of that. He finds himself isolated in areas, in 1v1 areas, and he just has to come back inside most of the time. He doesn't have someone to take people away from him. So he ends up just coming inside and passing and linking, innit? Whereas before, when you've got people coming down the outside, it opens the pitch up for you. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Like, it's just different styles, bro. Like, most of the time, David Beckham played right midfield for Man United. Gary Neville would overlap. And Beckham never used to get to the byline. He used to cross early. Gary Neville used to stretch it, pull people back, knock it back to Beckham. He used to play a first-time ball into the box nearly every time. Beckham never got to the 18-yard box most of the time. He didn't need to. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's all about styles. And when you've got overlapping fullbacks, even when you look at Trent and Robertson as well, how high they play up there, you don't see Mo Salah going down the outside putting in crosses. They come overlap, they stretch the teams, and then Salah comes inside.
Yeah.
That's just all it is. And if you don't understand different styles of football, you literally don't know what you're watching. You're just chatting for the sake of it, and that's what we're getting a lot of the time.
If you look at a lot of the players Pep Guardiola brings in, other than if you're special like Haaland, this rule doesn't apply. But nearly all of the players he's brought in those attacking areas, not so much at the back. The first year they're in and out. They're in and out. They're getting a few minutes here, a few minutes there, learning the Pep Guardiola way. Season 2, have a look how much football Grealish is getting this year compared to last year. And this is what he'll do with anyone he brings in. You watch Alvarez this year. Will dip in, he'll dip out. You watch next year. Alvarez will play a lot more games. And that's why he's Pep Guardiola. That's what he coaches. But
facts.
People who think that Grealish is going to go and do for Man City what he did at Villa, no, he's not the main man. He's one of many.
And the system's not the same either.
Of course, yeah, of course. So yeah, it's interesting. People sometimes I think just need to open their mind up a tiny little bit more, that things aren't always black and white.
Yeah, 100%. And that's why even one of the Arsenal fans said Martinelli looks better when he plays with Tierney than when he plays with Zinchenko, because Zinchenko is inverted. He doesn't overlap. So Martinelli most of the time is 1v2 when he's attacking, because his fullback's not taking the player away. And again, if you're watching the game, you don't understand that. You don't understand that. So most of the time, he's either got to kick it down the line and hope, or he's just got to pass it backwards. And Martinelli wasn't good yesterday. Why was that? Because Zinchenko wasn't overlapping. That's all it was. It's not because he's a shit player. It's just that certain players prefer to play with other players. When we had Luke Shaw overlapping before, when Memphis had his best season for Man United, it was when Luke Shaw was overlapping. Then Luke Shaw broke his leg. And then after that, his form went out the window. Like literally, left back and left wing is a partnership. Right back and right wing is a partnership. Like depending on different styles, if you got Wan-Bissaka at right back, you've got the hardest job as an attacking right winger, because he's going to give you nothing going forward.
Can I call someone out in your chat? Is that all right?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it.
To be polite. Aaron Lafond has said two things that I just find hilarious. He said Alvarez is a River Plate Dan James, and he's followed it up. He's followed it up with he just runs around. I mean, listen, I don't know if you've watched football in the last 2 months, but Alvarez has just won the World Cup, playing nearly every game for Argentina and scoring 4 goals. He's scoring goals regularly for Manchester City, who are arguably the best team in the country. I don't know if I'd call him the River Plate Dan James. I feel like that might be a little bit harsh on the lads, but each to their own, man. Each to their own.
But this is what it is, man. Them kind of takes, yeah, they slap on Twitter. That's why people have them. Do you know what I mean? So
for sure.
That's just like, what it is.
Who did it? It was like who are the Arsenal fans? They called Ben White. What they say, the seaside something. They called him the seaside something because he comes.
Yeah, I can't remember. There was loads of names for Ben White, to be fair.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden this year it's like, oh my god, how good is Ben White at right back? Ben White. I was like, hang on. Last year his nickname was Seaside.
Yeah, but this is what it is. But to be fair, he's a lot better at right back than he has been at centre back. To be fair to him, it's a different position, isn't it? So it's almost a different it's almost a different player. It's just like Luke Shaw's been really good at centre back, but then yesterday at left back he was fucking awful. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was surprised that it took him so long to get yellow carded.